One reason I wanted to revisit Borneo after 2 other visits is to see the ground cuckoo. It is a dream bird for me, like the pheasants, of course. I went on Cloudbird to search on trip reports, and I found Romasi, the boatman, to do the job for me. He is one of the best boatmans in the area. The whole trick is to sail on Kinabatangan River. Kinabatangan River is the main river, the biggest one in Sabah. It's coming from the mountains and flows towards the sea. It has been a huge forest area, but now the forest is diminished to a small strip along the river, kind of like a corridor. And therefore, all the wildlife is very concentrated along this strip, because behind that, only a few hundred meters behind all this forest, is oil palm. And the oil palm plantations are huge in this area. Here we see proboscis monkey, the typical monkey of riparian forest with a big nose. Quite frankly, I'm quite surprised there's so many birds, so many hornbills, so many mammals, so many elephants here, because the strip is very narrow, but it's a very long river, and the strip goes for 100 kilometers, I think, to some areas which is more forested. So it's like a corridor where all the wildlife can exist along with the oil palm. On the last day, or almost the last day, in the afternoon, we came down the river to the usual place where he saw the ground cuckoo the last time, in a tributary to this area where we are now. And suddenly a huge flock of elephants appeared. It's amazing to watch those elephants. They are pygmy elephants. They came here 10,000 years ago from Java or Sumatra. Originally, there were no elephants in Borneo, so they were introduced by indigenous people back then. But they are also called pygmy elephants, and there's not much pygmy around those elephants because they're quite dangerous. And for me, they look quite large. I wouldn't be near them, that's for sure. There was a lot of movements there, and because they wanted to cross the river. 50 elephants, maybe more, want to cross the river. It's a huge task because they have to fall down on the slope to get into the water, swim across and get up again. It is a big show, and you are not alone because some tourists come with the boats and watch it. Because of this encounter of elephants this afternoon, on the second last day, Romasi decided to go back to the area. Because now we had a chance for the ground cuckoo. It's obvious with all that noise, all that disturbance, the ground cuckoo will come back. They've been seen here before, so it was very natural to go back here. And while we went in here, we saw some monkeys eating some palm, and also the proboscis monkey crossing the river on a wire. This wire has been set up to help the monkeys, including orangutan, to move around on the strip, because the forest behind is converted into oil palm, and therefore they have less room to move around. It seems like the ground cuckoos like to be in some areas of the forest where there's some disturbance from mammals, for example. In the good old days, pigs roamed in this area and disturbed it so the snails could appear on the surface. Unfortunately, about 5 years ago, all pigs disappeared from most areas in Sabak because of the swine flu. So the ground cuckoo was alone to find the snails without disturbance. No, not really, because the elephants took over the task. They move around in the forest and spend some time in the oil palm and some time in the forest strip. And when they come, they make a lot of noise and a lot of disturbance, and you can really hear them. And the cuckoos follow them. This morning we could see the elephants were here also, and that was great news. Rumasi played the tape, and there was an answer. I can't believe there was an answer. And he says that when the answer, it's very, very likely to see it. I couldn't believe how I was shaking around the whole body. You know, when you're twitching, it's like you are shaking your body in excitement. That's what twitching means. I was sitting here and suddenly I could see some movement, and I had to get some film of this ground cuckoo. It was calling very close to the bank, not completely out in the open, a little bit obscured. And therefore I had to get the right angle for the camera, so I had to get the spot on the cuckoo so I can focus on it and have a view. It's not easy, and I was very, very lucky to be the only one with my guide in this boat, because there was only one spot you could sit and put the camera to support it to keep a steady photo and a steady video. So that was amazing. And that demonstrates how important it is to be not too many people when you're really seeking the rare birds.